everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to learn how to integrate ServiceNow with Salesforce using REST API and OAuth 2.0 authentication. If you're working with both of these platforms, this integration is a must now. We will start by going over a flow diagram to explain how this integration works, and then we will jump right into the practical steps. I will guide you through creating the connected app in Salesforce, setting up the OAuth 2.0 authentication in ServiceNow, and then we will test the integration by creating an incident in ServiceNow and seeing if the corresponding Salesforce case gets created and updated with a case ID. By end of this video, you will understand how to connect ServiceNow with Salesforce via REST APIs instead of webhooks for a seamless communication between these two platforms. Before diving into the technical steps, let's quickly take a look at the flow diagram which I have created. So this will give you a visual overview of how the integration works. In this flow chart, the process begins when an incident is created in ServiceNow. The triggers calls to Salesforce using the REST API and OAuth 2.0 authentication. Once authenticated, ServiceNow sends post request to Salesforce to create a case. Salesforce responds with the case ID, which is then updated back into the incident record. The entire process allows two systems to stay in sync, ensuring both are updated and accurate. Now, let's get started with the first step, creating a connected app in Salesforce. The connected app will allow us to authenticate ServiceNow to access Salesforce via OAuth 2.0. So let's go to the Salesforce and navigate to Setup. And here in the search bar, let's type App Manager. And let's click on New Connected App. I'm going to select the first option and I'm going to click on Continue. So let's give our connected app name as ServiceNow Integration. ServiceNow Integration. And let's click on the contact email. Let's give our email as noservicenow@gmail.com. And we are going to upload the image. I'm just going to click on choose one of our sample logos. And if you scroll down there, you could see a ServiceNow logo. And we are going to copy this logo URL and icon URL. So let's come back to our app manager and another logo image URL. Let's paste the URL which we had copied earlier and the icon URL. And let's give the description as ServiceNow. And let's go ahead and enable the OAuth settings. And our callback URL is our ServiceNow instance URL and followed by add OAuth underscore token. So I got this information from the support article, which was updated or which were present in the service now. So I will be pasting the link in the description box below. Please take a look at it. And we are going to click select full access here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. I'm going to move it towards the right hand side of the slash bucket. So you can also select full access, but I have selected everything. And let's come to the scopes here. I am going to check this one and I'm going to require secret. I'm going to check that these three are already checked. I'm not going to do anything and I'm going to click on enable client credentials flow. If you want to know Uh, yeah. So if you want to know more details about it, I'm going to paste the API document too about this OAuth and the connected app. You can take a look at it. And I'm going to click on this one as well. And I'm going to select some of these. We want our token to be refreshed. So I have selected everything and I'm going to set our token valid to 720 minutes. Let's come here. For that, you need to click on ID token. I'm just going to select some 720 minutes. And let's go ahead and save this app. So this changes can take up to 10 minutes to take effect. So let's go ahead and continue. And so it says like the application service name has already been used before because I have already created a one for my testing purpose. So I'm going to show that to you guys. And this is how you have to create one. That's why I created a record here. So let's go back to our app manager. And this is the one which I had created. So it contains the same information. So let's come back here and click on this button and let's click on view. So we are going to quickly copy the consumer key and the secret. So you can take a look at your managed app. And if you think anything is missing or you want to change anything, you can just click on edit and then you can change it. So I want to generate the consumer key and a secret, which I will be using it for creating an entry on the ServiceNow instance. So let me go ahead and click on it. And this will ask you for the verification code. And let me quickly grab the verification code from my Gmail account. I do have this verification code with me. So which is that, okay, I don't want to tell that. Okay. So, but anyways, you guys can see it. So here we go. We have got the consumer key and the consumer secret. So let's go ahead and copy each of them on our notepad. And let's copy the consumer secret too. And once it is done, we are going to click on cancel. So here our part is done. I forgot to let you all know that we have another settings or the few settings which needs to be done on the Salesforce for the successful integration. So since this is my testing instance, I will have to do it. But if you're doing it on your project or on your organization, I believe the Salesforce administrator would be doing all this part on the Salesforce instance. So you need to come to the setup again and on the home button, you can just see the option called security. Please click on that security and please click on what is that? Sorry, not the security. I'm sorry. So you need to click on the identity and then you need to click on OAuth and OpenID Connect settings. So if you have registered for a new Salesforce UI, then all these things would be turned off by default. So if you do not turn these functionalities on, then you would be getting an error while generating the OAuth token. I would also show you a screenshot of the error towards the end of the video. So you have to select this on or you have to set all of them to true. By default, only this will be set to on and all this three will be off. So please make sure that all these three settings are on. And I believe the Salesforce administrator or the developer will be already aware of it. So in case if you're testing it for the first time or you are trying to learn or something like that, yes, please make sure you need to turn this on. So I think our part is done, finally done on the Salesforce. So let's quickly go to our ServiceNow instance and let's go ahead and create a new application registry record. So this is where we are going to register our uh, OAuth information. So you need to go to the application registry um, table, and for my testing purposes I have already created one which I used it for testing. So I might have tested, yeah, this is the one which I used it, but I'm going to create a one for this video too. So you need to click on connect to an OAuth provider, which is the simplified one. So please click on it and let's give the name as Salesforce OAuth. Or I'll just give this as a 2.0, and whatever the client ID which you created it or generated it on the Salesforce, please go ahead and copy it from the notepad and paste it here. And with the same thing goes with the secret ID too. So I'm just going to quickly copy it from my notepad and pasting it here. And the grant type is authorization code, and you can see the token URL is a mandatory field, and our redirect URL is already ready. So I'm going to get the authorization URL and the token URL from the API document, which I have already linked in the in the description box below. So it is going to be the Salesforce domain name followed by services slash OAuth 2 slash authorize, and our token URL is going to be the same, but towards the towards the services there will be additional OAuth 2 and a token. So our record is ready to be saved. So let me go ahead and save it, and you can see that everything is ready, and ServiceNow has already created OAuth entity profiles for us. So here I'm going to just change the grant type to resource owner password credentials. So if you want to know details about the grant type, you can go to the OAuth website, and you have a lot of information about it. And I will also paste that link in the description box below. So I'm going to click on save, and our second part is done. Our OAuth is ready to be used for the integration. So I am going to the REST message because I am going to create an outbound integration. So as you can see here, I have already created one for my testing purposes, but I will go ahead and create one for this video. So I'm just going to give this name as Salesforce integration like 2.0, and I have already have my end point, which I got it from the API documentation again. So this is the post method endpoint, and I'm going to select the authentication type as OAuth 2.0, and we are going to select our OAuth profile. So this is the one which we had created earlier. So this is the OAuth profile, and I'm going to quickly save this record. So now we can see we have got a pop-up stating that OAuth access or refresh token is not available. We need to get a new token. So under the related links, you can see a button called Get OAuth Token. I'm going to click on it, and it is going to ask the username and the password. So this is going to be your Salesforce username and the password. So you need to quickly go to your Salesforce, and if you don't know your username, you can come to your view profile button and then click on the settings, and you can see your username here. This is your username, and I'm going to use that username here. I'm going to use my password, which I generally use for logging into my Salesforce account. So the Salesforce account which I have used is the Lightning version. So you can get a free, I think free instance, or I don't know what they call it. So for 30 days. So after 30 days, they will charge. So the OAuth token has been successfully created. So we have the OAuth token. As we can see, we have already a default get method. So for our purpose, we need the post method. So I am going to create a post method as create case, and our method is going to be post. And I have already have the endpoint here. It is going to be the same endpoint, the one we used earlier, and I'm going to select the OAuth 2. So yeah, you can select that inherit from the parent, but just to make sure, I'm going to manually select the OAuth profile. So let's come here and we are going to give the HTTP headers here. So the headers are going to be accept, which is going to be application JSON. And yeah, I'm telling this again, but all this informations are available on the API document. So here we go. Our HTTP headers are ready and we need the content. So I have the content with me here. So it is going to be subject, test case, and the description, priority, and the status. So I am going to dynamically pass this information using the business rule, and I have used this method. So let's go ahead and save this record, and you can see that OAuth token are not available. Again, we are getting this method. Let me go ahead and generate it again. I am really not sure why we are getting this pop-up again. But I will definitely look at it, and if I find a solution for it, I will add that in the description below. So let me quickly put the password here, and the OAuth is again generated, and you can see that it is actually valid only for 20 minutes, I believe. But if you remember, I had set the timing to 720 minutes, so I don't know what happened in between, but I will definitely look at it. So for this demo or for the video, I think this much is enough. So let's go ahead and click on auto generate variables. And for the testing purposes, I am going to give the test value as description as this is Selva, priority as high, status as new, test case. So the test case is nothing but the subject. This is API testing. So I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to save this record, and let's go ahead and test it. Great. So our REST API worked, and we can see that we got the status code as 201, and a new case ID has been created. So this is the case ID. So let's quickly go back to our uh, Salesforce, and let's go ahead and check the case number. Yes, here we go. It is here. So let's open it quickly. So we can see that, yeah, it was the status as new and priority as high. And where is the, yeah, so this is the subject and description. So everything matches. Okay, so our I think this is the third part. So the third part is also ready, and now we need to test it on our instance again by calling this REST API. REST API works, we will proceed to the next steps, which involves automating this process using a business rule. So for our demo, I have already created a business rule, so which will be triggered after the record insertion. And I have just given one filter condition. This will trigger whenever the configuration item is Salesforce automation. And this is the script which I have used. So I'm going to paste the script in the description box below. So let's go ahead and quickly test our business rule. So I'm just going to select Able Tutor and the short description as uh, API is down, please work on it. And the Salesforce app not working. And I'm going to click on Save. So we can see that our integration worked and we have got the case ID here. So let's quickly confirm it by going into our Salesforce, and I'm going to just refresh this page. Yeah, yes, indeed, you can see that this API, um, I mean, the case ID has been created. The business rules, whatever I used, so it's just a high level business rule. So you can modify it by adding more script to it. So you can also add a code wherein you can retrieve the new access token using the refresh token. So this is the script include which you can use it. So you can modify your business rules as per your requirement. Okay, so that's it, guys. So we have successfully integrated ServiceNow and Salesforce using the REST API and OAuth 2.0. If you check the incident, you will see the case ID has been added, linking both the systems. To summarize today, we have covered how to integrate ServiceNow with Salesforce using the REST API and OAuth 2.0. So here is a quick recap. We started by creating a connected app in Salesforce, generating the client ID and a client secret. We then set up a OAuth 2.0 authentication in ServiceNow. We create an outbound REST message in ServiceNow to call the Salesforce API and created a case. So we have automated the process using the business rule to update the incident with a Salesforce case ID. Finally, we have tested the integration by creating an incident and verifying that a case was created and updated the case ID. I'm sorry, updated with the case ID. So this integration will help streamline your process, ensuring the incidents in ServiceNow are automatically converted to case in Salesforce, reducing manual work and improve efficiency. So I have also attached the APM documentation in the description box below. So please make sure to check that if you want more details. I think I have repeated myself saying this API documentation more than thrice. So if you have enjoyed this tutorial, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I would be happy to help. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ta-ta, bye-bye.